Again, now let's take you on a bleak trip down memory lane. We're reflecting on Fees Must Fall, a student-led protest that began in October 2015. It was a violent uprising against lack of access and financial exclusion from higher education institutions. Now, the University of Cape Town is hosting an exhibition to reflect on what transpired in 2015. It's titled Aftermath, Violence and Well-Being in the Context of the Student Movement. To tell us more about this, let's chat to Pura Mgolombane. He's Executive Director of the University of Cape Town's Department of Student Affairs. Pura, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. What gave you the idea, you guys, the idea of this exhibition? Where does it come from?
Thank you, Dan, and good afternoon to the viewers. So this exhibition is a partnership with the Human Science Research Council, which they have undertook a photo voice workshop with about 5 universities, University of Fort Hare, University of Western Cape, University of Venda, and University of the Free State. So, and the idea about this was to understand, how the student activists are feeling post, the Fees Must Fall. In other words, as the dust settled, what are the impacts in terms of the human aspect? And what they found, it's what some of us may have forgotten about, the trauma that the student activists were involved at that time are dealing with, and the struggling to cope, the depression, and so on. So the idea of the exhibition is to put a spotlight to the activists that were involved in terms of saying, how do we then help these activists so that they can be able to deal with life and provide the support over and above just the issue that they were raising, but themselves are still reeling from this kind of traumatic experiences that
okay, so what is the exhibition made up of? Is it a selection of carefully chosen pictures that would depict that trauma?
Yeah, so what had happened is that there were about 300 photos that were looked out. That were sifted from, and in terms of the process, those who were involved then looked at really different types of pictures that were depicting the themes that were coming out, from the theme of violence, from the theme of safe spaces, from the theme of trauma. So these were the different photos that were showing in terms of how students felt at the time and how then using photo voice we're expressing, those feelings as they were trying to grapple with the aftermath.
So this exhibition is at UCT, but I guess it will be accessible to anybody. We live in a world where
yes, it will be.
You can digitize it as well.
Definitely. So the exhibition is a traveling exhibition. It has been to places like University of Pretoria, Stellenbosch, and now it has come to UCT. And I think it comes at the right time to UCT, particularly because as the Department of Student Affairs, we are really focusing at really co-creating, communities of care, where really we're looking at individuals' lived experiences with the idea of showing, the kindness, the empathy, as to the way of ensuring that, we unleash the human potential. And I think this is the part which the exhibition is focusing on, in making sure that the well-being of students is looked after, because without that well-being, it's very difficult for them to flourish and their well-being and making sure that they are succeeding in their academic success.
So this somehow is a mobile exhibition. You said it's been to other universities and now it's coming at the right time at UCT. This mobile exhibition, it's in a way allowing students to relive that experience, but in a way where their experiences are then looked into and they are assisted in dealing with the trauma, for example?
Yes. Yeah, precisely. So basically, because remember now, you are dealing with a different type of students, right? Because now these ones are actually, that are currently in the system, they were not there at the time of Fees Must Fall. So it's a new cohort, if you will, the COVID-19 struggles that they're dealing with. Now, this is trying to show the struggles that the Fees Must Fall had and they're still experiencing, and then the importance of then grappling with that and seeking help in terms of ensure that their well-being is sorted. And I think now meeting these, kind of, if you will, activists that help shape the face of the universities, to saying to them, look, go out, seek help, and so you're able also to find, your wholeness, if you will.
Yes. Now, just to ask you, I don't know if any of the students who were there at the time, some of them might have moved on now, doing all kinds of different things, whether in their chosen professions, if they were successful, whatever they are doing. Are they involved at all? Do you know if they were involved at all in the compilation of this or in sharing their lived experiences with the current cohort?
Precisely. Yes, precisely. So these photo voice, so the stories that you have seen in the exhibition, it is the activists themselves who actually took those photos and then and wrote those stories. So in fact, even currently, we do have one of the activists who actually, these pictures you have shown now, Tshepang Matlatsi, who is part of the exhibition and also sharing his story and his struggles in terms of how he still managed to struggle in terms of him being well going forward. And of course, and that is very, very, very important because it allows access, in as far as the students are concerned, other than just being a representation of the narratives.
Yeah, I'm hoping we've been showing some of those pictures that are part of the exhibit, and maybe we could show them again just now if we have, before we conclude. So Pura, student movements by their nature are militant. I mean, historically.
Yes.
Anywhere in the world. South Africa is no different. And currently, the new cohort of students, some of them will still be grappling with financial exclusion or the need for financial assistance at institutions like the UCT. Is part of this a way of assisting the current cohort and others to say, there could be, you are militant, yes, you are young, you're a student, but there could be other ways of avoiding this trauma and look after your well-being, but still addressing the issues at hand, your current issues as students.
Yes, no, precisely. Yes, so precisely, and that is the main purpose, because during the activism, the struggles, what students tend to do, they forget about themselves. They commit to the cause, which is okay, but I think they're not taking care of themselves. And I think the exhibition is saying, as you engage in the struggles of whatever nature and form, make sure that then you look after yourself, especially your well-being. And I think this is basically what this exhibition is about. It's really about making sure, and of course, calling upon, institutions of higher learning to make available, these resources where students feel safe to come and request, this kind of support. And of course, at UCT, we make, these services available for students to access them physically and online, to ensure that students are able really to feel that they are supported, as and when they need this kind of support, which I feel they need, because sometimes it affects them in deep ways, depression, PSTD, and so on. So I think that is basically what is very, very, very important about this exhibition.
Okay, finally, for how long will it be on at UCT? You said it's mobile, it's gone in other parts of,
yes,
so to other universities.
It will be here until the 5th.
Until the 5th?
It will be here until the 5th, and then from there, then the colleagues from HSRC will then decide in terms of where it's going to be going next. But if people are really would like people to come and engage and reflect, and those colleagues who have moved on and they are now in the employment, and then they must come in and engage with us going forward.
Okay, and they can speak to the Student Affairs Department. They can contact your office and they'll be able to get on. Or they can go online and check out exactly the details on the UCT website.
Lovely. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's Pura Mgolombane, Executive Director, the University of Cape Town's Department of Student Affairs.